Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are jumping into episode 11. 11 already. Woo! It's the apocalypse, guys. Right, so of course, we are going to start off our week by checking who is aging up, and we do only have Rachel this week, so it's fine. Fine, because I'll tell you what, we went from 1 to 3 young adults and careers, and I think adding 1 more to the mix is going to be just enough. Now I'm glad we're only going 1 at a time. So I am getting rid of all the child items, okay? And I am putting them in the inventory to make room because I don't know. I have a pretty good idea of what we're going to need for career skills, I guess. I don't know how else to put that, but I do know that we're going to need the fitness and all of that. So, we still have the treadmill. And yeah, I mean, listen, I'm loading this up and every time I come into this household, I'm like, "Okay, all right, I can do this. I can do this. Is 1 week at a time. That's how we're going." But really, it's like 1 second at a time, okay? I literally just go 1 second at a time because if not, it is so overwhelming. There's so much going on and nothing going on at the same time, and I don't know how to better describe that to you, okay? So there is a lot going on because we have 3 young adults, soon to be 4, who are going to be working on their careers, and so we really have to micromanage them and make sure that they're doing as much as they can towards their career, right? Add on top of that the fact that they're irresponsible, they're dropouts, the whole 9. I mean, it is raining outside, and we are using that to our advantage. I think that 'cause there was a while there at the beginning where I was confused because it wasn't raining at all. So I think what's happening is in the summer in Oasis Springs, it's truly a desert, right? There is no rain. I mean, there is grass on this lot, but it's just the lot that I chose because of the size. Um, but yeah, so what we're noticing is at the end of fall, winter, and hopefully some of spring, we are going to see some rain. I think we are gonna run into some problems when we get back into the summer months, but hopefully by the time we get to summer, we've downsized our sim number. I'm gonna say that as gently as I can, but yeah, I'm hoping by then we have reached the max of some careers and we have gotten rid of some sims so that washing hands and maintaining our sims are not such a huge problem. Um, Now Hannah did get her promotion in her babysitting career. Now, like I said, her career is literally Saturday and Sunday, so there is no reason for her not to work hard both days, okay? Because even if she gets dazed after that, that doesn't sound like a me problem for the week, okay? Doesn't sound like a me problem because then she's got 5 days to get over that, so I'm fine with that. So, she can work hard and do her thing. I'm pretty sure it's only charisma that you need for the babysitting career, so she should be fine. Um, but yeah, she should be done within 3 weeks. So, we do still have, obviously, the longest season setting, which is 28 days, I believe. So, it's a full 4 weeks. So, already we're gonna downsize, 1, right? Um, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like I feel like some people are gonna be really insulted that we're about to get creative about expiring our Sims when it's not, before their time, but to be honest, this house is crazy. And in order to keep going, we need to make room for more. So, I am hoping that this next person that we add to the gameplay is going to do the professor administration career. Guys, I mean, let's get real. Okay. It needs to be done. We can't have college dropouts or there's a whole 2/3 of the careers locked behind this college dropout situation, okay? And there are lots of careers I don't even wanna begin to tackle until they can actually do college degrees, okay? Now, before some of you are like, "Why would you do that?" Okay, that is no it just needs to be done. The active careers need to be after a college degree because they are extremely um, consuming. They're, like, all-consuming, especially when you leave to go with them to their careers. Although it's super fun and I'm looking forward to do the active careers, it is all-consuming. And so, while you're there, you're not micromanaging everybody else who also has to go to work. So I do think it's best if we just do college with those Sims before they do the active careers, which means we have a lot of other things to unlock between now and then. Um, Now for Rachel, I haven't given her a career yet, obviously, she's just kinda, like, in limbo at the moment, but she is a young adult, and, I'm thinking about it, but there's a few options for her, really. We could unlock, uh, the fast food career, which would unlock the family recipes, which would be super helpful because they help with motives and they help with, um well, there's one for motives, there's one that's, like, fueling, there's one that's happy, there's quite a few things that we could use family recipes for, and that would be super helpful. So I'm debating between that and the selling of items and the family inventory and the personal inventory, with the one by one footprint, moving things around, selling our stuff, taking things out of the family inventory. It would still keep the career items locked. So things that we have promoted to line cook. My god, Carmen, you are amazing at this time. You are just doing so, so good. Oh, she's flirty. Okay, well, that's fine. Oh, it's because Pan is flirty. Ew, that's your dad. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the movement of items and the selling of items along with, the family inventory, the personal inventory. I think that those are more priority than a family recipe at the moment because we also have Melissa who's going to unlock that 8 by 8 space for us. Now, although we can't move our walls and stuff because that's locked, I want to be able to move around what we do have. We are not making as much money as we once were while Felicity was working. And so we are going to be limited on funds and I don't want to have to I don't want to have to get rid of everything and then buy new, right? When we have to move it. Luckily, some of the things that we put in the family inventory will be unlocked when we get to Rachel. So we will be able to use those items. And that is awesome because we've put quite a bit of stuff in there. And I'm hoping that by expanding the house, we will have rooms set up for a whole bunch of stuff, right? We'll have, bedrooms with only top bunks for children. We will have double beds for the couples. We will have single bedrooms for other Sims. Um, I want to have a little workout area with more than one, gym equipment in case two people have an active career that needs a fitness skill and, a room for the study. I want multiple bathrooms. We're going to set up an actual kitchen area. I think that there's a lot to be done once we unlock that 8 by 8 space. So, yeah, I do think that in this case, the athlete, the professional athlete? No, bodybuilder. Oh my goodness. I'm hitting everything today, but yeah, the bodybuilder career. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with for her. I think it will work well with the unlocking of the 8 by 8 square. It will not unlock the outdoors, okay? So not to be confused with the other career that unlocks outside stuff. This is simply to expand our house and possibly move the grills away from the walls of the house in case they catch fire. Oh, she likes fitness. Yes, that's amazing. So we do have Rachel going for a jog because this is something that we have not been able to learn yet because you can only use workout things for the people who are in those careers, okay? So, we are gonna have her go for a jog for right now. Is she done? She can't be done, there's only 25% done. But yeah. All right, girly. Evie is like learning the ropes of what it means to not go to school anymore. It means you're going to be a dropout, sweetie. That's what it means. That's what we're learning. We have Melissa at work. Now, I did say that my goal was to hope everybody working a full time job to have 2 promotions per week. Okay, so Carmen has already had 1. Melissa has just gotten hers, and she ended up aging up and getting the genius trait. Guys, we really lucked out this week and, like, last week with traits. Like, we got, someone was generous, I think it was Carmen, and then we got the genius trait, which was awesome because that will automatically keep her focused a lot of the time, which is just amazing, to be honest, because those are the little things, like, that is what I am that's my goal at this time. Now, we do have Hannah unlocking the babysitter career, which is going to unlock the traits and aspirations for us, so we can choose what we're doing with our sim as they age up, as they're growing and learning the things that they're learning. We can plan that certain people are going to do certain things and build the sims that we need to do it. Obviously, there are things that we will not be able to control, like work rivals, which we, knock on wood, have not seen. But we have seen layoffs, obviously, and, you know. All right, so we are going to get oh, no. Okay. It's okay, I'm fine. It's okay, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. So we are gonna keep jogging. In case you all missed that, the treadmill, of course, doesn't work because we're off the grid, and I did not even think of that. I don't even know how I have these tiny lapses of judgment sometimes where I'm like, "Yeah, we're making it work." Except we're not making it work. There's still no power in the building. It's very deceiving to have a lot of items work off the grid, like the lights and whatever. It makes it look very, you know, like there's electricity. But, okay, so that means on Sunday, we will have to remove the treadmill and place, um, a punching bag maybe? I'm assuming those will work off the grid. I'm not entirely sure now, but I need something other than jogging, right? Oh, for the love of the listen, okay? Like I said, it's very overwhelming and it's very underwhelming. Am I surprised that something else has happened that I didn't notice that I probably should have? Not really, I'm not surprised by that. Ooh, friendly interactions now is what Melissa needs as her daily task, and we can definitely work towards that. That is easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? Because before she had to do some stuff on the computer, and obviously our computers don't work because we are still off the grid, which is silly beyond measure. Sure, you guys can be close. Listen, whatever you want, guys. Whatever makes life easier for you. Okay. So let's just have a little look at what everyone looks like. So Carmen is dazed, but I think now she's within her days off. We do have Melissa who's going to go to work on Tuesday, which is today. Um, Hannah is obviously not working until Saturday. But I do think that Rachel works during the day for her professional athlete career or bodybuilding career, sorry. I'm, like, mixing those 2 up. Professional athlete actually unlocks gym equipment and the option to purchase rewards traits. It does not unlock the option to drink the reward potions, but everything else. So, for example, if we were to get the hardly hungry or seldom sleepy or forever full or whatever the case might be, um, it would work for that, but not the potions, which are like sleep replacement and, hygiene replacement and super slim and super big. Like the drinks are off limits, but everything else would be okay. That's the professional athlete career. Now, as per usual, we are oh, she is burnt out. Yeah, we know, honey, we know, but that's okay because 'cause you're off for a few days, so you should be fine by the next time you go to work. But yeah, we are having Felicity clean up the house while everybody is sleeping. She's been super helpful to do that. She's also been really useful to, go fishing and get all the fish that they need to eat, and lumps of clay, obviously. She has picked up quite a few random things from fishing, like a child's toy, clay, roses, um, cameras, just the weirdest little things, right? But yeah, so, let's see. Let's see how it goes when we go from 1 to 4 young adults. Let's see if getting them to work on time and making sure that their skills are up there and that they're somewhat happy and clean to go to work. I mean, do I think it's gonna be chaotic when there's 6 of them? Absolutely, but remember what I said. If 4 of them can complete their careers, I will be thrilled. I will be absolutely thrilled if 4 of them can complete their careers. I do think what's saving me right now, though, is that, um, everybody's schedule is kind of like, nobody is quite overlapping each other except for Melissa and Rachel at this time. So, Melissa and Rachel both went to work at around the same time in the morning between 8 and 9, and then they're gonna come back between 4 and 5. So, while they're gone, I get a chance to help Carmen, whose shifts are kinda all over the place. I mean, right now she's not working, but she generally works in the afternoon and into the night. And yeah, and then, of course, we have Hannah, and she only works on the weekends in the morning. So, I think that's what's keeping me okay right now. I don't know how else to say that, but I think that's what's keeping me on track. It's helping me keep everybody in somewhat of a routine. It's helping me be able to focus on who needs focusing at that time because they're not all needing my focus at the same time, if that makes sense, to get ready for work. So, fired from her job. Well, we won't be choosing that, will we? Like, absolutely not. Yeah, I think that's truly helping, you know, keeping me on track and keeping them on track in return. But it's quite helpful that they're not all doing the same thing with the same shift. I mean, all right. So Carmen is definitely tense, but like I said, we are not worried. I mean, obviously, we can't technically do anything um, deliberately to get rid of her dazed and burnout and whatever, because that is locked behind another career. Because I thought I was like, so funny. But yeah, I did do that. I did do that to myself. But it adds to the fun, doesn't it? Because 'Cause we're having fun. This is what fun looks like. No, but for real, I am having fun. I really am. I'm super glad that I, like, went and updated this and took the time to do that. Um, I am glad that I'm doing a run through, with you guys so that you guys can kinda let me know, like, what you're thinking is working, or maybe I was not lenient enough, or maybe I was too lenient on other things, you know? It's also hard because I don't know, like, Bust the Dust, I don't know how popular it is. I don't know if everybody has that or if that's something that people just are like, "What a waste of money, and I didn't get it," and whatever. I personally love the kit. Kits are like my jam, okay? They come out with these very niche things and I'm like loving them. All right, the bathroom, the kitchen stuff, the restoration stuff. I do wish that we had more items to restore. I wish we could choose some of our main game items as restoration items. Um, kind of like DIY style, but I do love the kits and I do love Bust the Dust. It adds a little bit of extra gameplay that previously was not there. I always use it. It is, however, what is creating a lot of the discomfort and chaos in my run through. So, for those of you who are going to do it and don't have Bust the Dust, you are not going to have the same experience that I'm having whatsoever. And so I'm curious to see how it works without Bust the Dust. If it's much easier, um, how it changes the gameplay. Does everything catch fire like it did with mine? I would love to see someone else do it. So, once we're done this run through, and yes, I know it's gonna take a while before we get there, but, I just think it's so important that the run through gets done before I release the rules and restrictions. Obviously, they're technically out there. You could go and watch that video and write everything down by hand, right? Like, there's nothing stopping you from doing that and trying it out yourself, obviously. But just putting it out there in a Google Doc or whatever the case might be, I'm just not ready yet because I'm sure there are other things that I'm gonna wanna adjust as I go, and, making all these notes of things. Like, for example, I had no idea that your Sims were gonna be dropouts, right? And, should GEDs be locked behind something else, right? Or should I have locked the wind turbines and the water collectors? And, maybe I should have a look at the kids' toys and things that are making me question how everything is running and all of these other things. Like, I might go back and readjust some things. And yeah, so I just think it's super important to do a run through, especially when there was so many things I had to add and edit and move around and all of this. So it had been a long time since that had been updated. I know Poopsie Sims had done one in 2020, and I based it off of her updated version or their updated version. I'm not entirely sure of the gender. My apologies. But yeah, they kind of updated that, and I just based it off of that. Now, I assumed that when they had done the update in 2020 that it was kinda complete up to 2020, but there was a lot of things that surprisingly were not in there, like some of the island living stuff, um, interior design stuff, and so, yeah, it just took a little bit more editing and updating than I thought it would. So it's a lot to try and cram into a challenge, and the challenge is gonna look very different for everybody, and maybe I'm gonna wanna move certain restrictions from one career to another, right? There's a lot that goes on in this challenge, and yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. I'm having a good time. You can't tell, but I am indeed having a good time, alright? I'm not quite at my breaking point yet, and if I haven't reached it now, I think I'm okay, but I can't quite say that because we don't currently have everybody working. Like, right now, the teens, not my problem, as long as they eat and sleep, like, they're fine. So we have 4 out of 6 currently working. It is it's okay right now, we are getting rain, so I'm able to clean them. It also helps that when they leave the house, they lose a lot of their discomfort. So, if they have discomfort about, icky plumbing or, the dust or whatever the case may be, once they leave the house, those, like, buffs and moodlets leave within a few hours. So that's also super helpful when they go to work. Um, on the downside, though, they do have a discomfort moodlet that pops up while they're at work, so yippee, brain block. Okay, so she's now reached her brain block, okay? Um, which means that most of what she'll do, as long as it's not work, should bring it down, without having to work on it directly. So this is the ghost historian, aspiration that Evie got, okay? So I've never used the ghost setup, so I'm just going in to have a look at what it is. Make contact with Edith. Who's Edith? Oh, wait, is it Edith Gomez? No. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know who Edith is, guys. Why do I need to speak to her to get that aspiration completed? But yeah. Alright, so that's the basics of it. That's where my headspace is at this time. So everybody is kind of, doing their thing, and, yeah, we're rolling with it, alright? We are rolling with it, and we're doing okay. I do think that we're doing okay. Obviously, we've had a couple of curveballs thrown at us, with Pan not really being able to complete a career that helped us. Yes, partially it was my fault, but he also made some mistakes. Um, so that was kind of a bit of a waste, to be honest. But he did make many, many donations, obviously, to to society. So, he did do something, but, that was a bit of a letdown that we didn't complete a second career. Um, obviously, the dropout situation is a whole other realm of curveball that I was not expecting. But yeah, we're figuring it out, and we're thriving. We're thriving, okay? We are gonna make it one day at a time. I am looking forward to having less Sims in the house, okay? I'm really looking forward to that. I think that we need to find a number of Sims that works to figure out where we need to limit our, like, children amount that we are birthing per generation. Like, obviously, 6 is too many. Okay. 6 is too many. Um, 4 is, like, iffy. 3 might be the number, okay, because don't forget we're gonna have, like, the father we're gonna add to the gameplay. So there would be mother, father, and then 3 children, everybody working towards their careers. That's 5 people working towards careers. That might be I don't know, it's a lot. Locker room attendant, yes! Rachel, yes! You go, girl. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the magic number is because right now we have 4 people working, and it's okay. They're all on different schedules, so it's okay. Maybe 3. Maybe 3 kids is enough. Obviously, I'm not gonna be doing that right now. We gotta get rid of a lot of these Sims. We have to complete a lot of these careers before we can do that. So I'm trying to salvage the teenagers at this point. I'm working towards that. We are using the Woohoo Alone option a lot. It comes with RPO. Um, Again, it's not something I added for this challenge. It is simply something I play with. It is a part of my main gameplay with me. Like, to me now, it's like a part of my game. It is not even a mod. It just belongs there. So again, that is also something that is going to look different for somebody else because technically you're not supposed to use mods that help you. I don't care. I don't care. Um, for me, like I said, it's not something I added for this challenge. It is simply something that I play with. Um, and it can make it much more difficult as much as it's making it easier, obviously, because there can be infertility, there can be, all these other things, and you can only add one person per generation, or, you could have a miscarriage and not really have as many children as you're hoping. So then instead of it having 3, you're only having 1. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong and make it much harder for you. So, we're using it to our advantage when we can, until, it leaves us at a disadvantage. So there is certain aspects that will not look the same for you when you do it for yourself, when you're playing the challenge on your own. So just keep those things in mind. Um, yeah. I think we're doing okay, guys. Like I do think we're doing okay. Um, so now Rachel has gotten a promotion. Melissa has gotten 2, I think. And Carmen is like soaring. She is running this. I think she's on level 4, maybe 5? 4 maybe, which is awesome. Like, I cannot begin to express how happy I am that it's going as smoothly as it possibly could, you know? Oh, it is raining. Sometimes I forget. to wake them up to go shower in the rain, but you gotta take advantage of these times, right? Soon I'll be waking up the entire house, the entire house just to go shower out in the rain, and you know what? So worth it. Alright, so of course Pan is here, right? You know, gifting us with his presence in the afterlife. There are so many, oh my goodness. J I was just thinking about how we're gonna deal with the urns and the tombstones and everything else, and I realized how much we actually have to unlock to be able to get rid of them. Feel like that's something I should have edited because I don't think you can actually destroy them anymore. Hmm, I had not thought of that because I think now, yeah, I don't think you can destroy them like you used to, like release the spirit, because now you can be a playable ghost. So, mm, I might have a look at the rules of what you can do with the urn. Yeah, I might have to look at that because we might have to make a slight adjustment there. I mean, I maybe we can still go into buy mode and delete them, right? So I guess you still can get rid of them. It's just not the same way. It's not like you're not releasing their spirits and like, then just releasing their spirit and getting rid of the tombstone or the urn. You would have to actually delete it in buy mode, maybe? We'll have to check that out, or I guess I will. I will check that out and see. Because I mean, technically, we don't have to get rid of it. We could just put them in the family inventory for now. We could. Pan is proving to be somewhat useful in his afterlife, but the minute he's not, we will be putting him in the family inventory. I think, anyway. Right, so it is extremely, uh, splurge on headphones? Performance loss small, okay. So, of course, as I mentioned last time, when your Sims are irresponsible, their pop-ups look different. So, when you are a responsible adult, you get pop-ups, but either option is going to give you a like higher work performance. All right, it's going to go up, and your daily tasks are like almost always automatically done. When you have like neither the responsible or the irresponsible traits, you get like the regular pop-ups where like, one is good performance, one is bad performance. You do your daily tasks. It's very easy peasy. When you are an irresponsible adult, you are uncomfortable at work. Um, I think it's taking them longer to do their daily tasks, and, of course, their pop-ups are lowering their work performance. That is the only option. So, basically, you're trying to choose between a rock and a hard place. So, you're always trying to find the one with the smaller lowering work performance option, right? To try and minimalize the performance going down, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it, but this is what I am noticing throughout this gameplay and, with all of my little dropout babies. All right, so Melissa is home. She is indeed dazed. This is going to be very difficult with the dazed system. Although I want to like make a comment on the dazed system. I feel like it's happening too quickly. I'm trying to find my words that I'm trying to use, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's happening much quicker than it should. like, maybe once every, like, 10 days or something, but right now and it's like it's a whole week process. You know what I mean? It almost feels like it takes them a whole week to get out of it, or, like, 3 or 4 days or whatever the case may be, right? And obviously right now we're, like, suffering the consequences because they can't do anything to help themselves, okay? So technically speaking, we could try to get out of that dazed feeling, but every single day they would have to work towards that to avoid it. Seems a bit excessive and unrealistic at this point, but oh, come on, Rachel, keep going. Keep going, Rachel. See, now Melissa's burnt out. All right, take her home. Shower in the rain. Raven Smith is obviously a vampire who was at our door. Right, so we are gonna go check and make sure that nobody else needs a shower at this time. I'm sure sometimes I will just make them shower to top them up. Fire? No. Um, okay. I mean, I wouldn't be completely devastated because she just started her career, but, like, if she was a level 9 and she caught fire and didn't survive it, I would I would cry out loud. I would cry so loudly, the birds would fly away, I think. Oh, look at that. A little tectonic terror just to brighten our day. Oh, she slipped in mud. She slipped in mud. Now she's dirty again. I just got her to shower. And it's not even raining anymore. Oh, no. No. Come on. Catch a break here. Like, what? This can't be for real, okay? Felicity has been confident throughout this entire process. Like, I wish I had the confidence that she did. Mind you, if I was never hungry, I never had to use the bathroom, I never needed fun, I was always clean and didn't need to sleep, I would be pretty confident too during the zombie apocalypse, right? Not having to worry about literally anything but your basic survival. Um, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess I would be pretty confident too. Someone's awake. I think it's Hannah. She sleeps in the interior bed. It is Friday, which means it is almost the end of the week. We do have, Melissa and Rachel probably going to work. I'm saying probably because I can't remember if Rachel works on Friday or not. So the fire obviously ruined one of our grills and the garbage can, and you guys, this is why I put the garbage can between the grills. This is why I put a spare grill, okay? This is exactly the reason for the season, alright? FYI, I love Christmas. So there might be times where I say things like Merry Christmas. And, that is, it's not because I am, trying to be disrespectful. It is just something I say because for me, I love Christmas. And Merry Christmas is something that I say sarcastically sometimes when things are just not going great. And it's my way of dealing with it. Like, Merry Christmas. That's how it feels. This entire challenge has been a huge Merry Christmas to me. Do you hear the sarcasm there when I say that? I truly hope so. I truly hope so. Alright. Now, we do indeed have Rachel and Melissa gone to work today. Both of them are in hard shape. Okay, one is tense and one is uncomfortable. Oh, no. Mortified? Oh, because of her acne? And what, did she wet herself? Maybe she's recalling a memory of when She wet herself at one time, so she's mortified. If she aged up into a young adult right now, she would literally die of mortification. Like, she would literally die from being mortified, all right? So we like, I don't know. You guys, lately in my gameplay, the amount of random deaths that I have been having is unreal. Okay, I had someone die from anger. Um, Someone die from a meteor, which I know these things can happen, all right? But like bing bang bow, like back to back in different households, one after the other. All right. Then we had someone electrocuted from fixing the dishwasher. Okay. Like it's a bit much. Okay. It is a bit much. And then of course, we have some that are dying of old age, and I get it. All right. I get it. They've lived a life, they've done their thing. It's not random, but it's more. It's more and it's everywhere. Here, of course, it's a whole other story. Here we look forward to those days because that means, we can celebrate. We can celebrate death here in the Apocalypse Challenge. And let me tell you why. It means that we've done something, right? That is what we're going to look forward to. Okay? That's how we're going to see the expirations in here is that we've completed something except for Pan. He did nothing. But for the rest of them, we are going to hope that it is cause for celebration. Okay, so she's also burnt out. Now, of course, we have to send them to work regardless, you guys. We have to send them to work regardless, right? So that is something else that you guys are going to notice. When you're burnt out, when your sim is burnt out or has a brain block or whatever the case is, they're not. Oh, Rachel! Oh my God, look at that outfit. Don't tell me she's like, she can come out of that mascot, right? Like, look at the llama. Oh my goodness. Get out of the llama outfit. Please and thank you. I can't even bear to look at it. I have to, like, move her outside to be able to get her to go jogging. I have to wait until she, like, registers that she's not in the dust anymore. It's wild to me. Anyway, but yes, so when they are burnt out and are having a brain block, already they are not going to learn skills that quickly. And by not quickly, I mean almost not at all. And their work performance has a possibility of going down rather than going up. So we are really going to have to pay attention to when we're choosing to work normally, when we're choosing to work hard. Those are our only two options. So we need to, play safe at this point. Oh, okay. So Rachel is going to need charisma in her athlete career. So fitness and charisma. Now, obviously, fitness, we can only do jogging, which is fine because she has to work out for her daily task anyway. Charisma, I mean, I don't know how we're going to pull that off. She needs to be, you know, somewhat functional in order to do that. Carmen came home. Carmen's super confident. She is like doing so well. Yeah. So we can't keep Sims home to let them work on their burnouts. We can't keep them home to avoid losing their work performance because they're burnt out. And obviously when they are burnt out and are having a brain block and they go to work, it kind of makes it worse. So but it's okay because the weekend is coming, like, they are done for the week. Well, Melissa is done for the week. I'm not entirely sure about Rachel. Sometimes the athlete career works on weekends and sometimes they don't. Their schedule changes quite a bit, kind of like the culinary career. Um, so we'll have to wait and see for that. And Carmen is just starting her week. We have Hannah that is going to go to work again on Saturday. She is on level 2 out of 3 for the babysitter career. That is super exciting, you guys. I'm hoping that she can follow through and that she can make this happen for us because that is what this is all about, okay? To be able to choose our traits and our aspirations, I think is going to be an immediate game changer. Now, obviously, I'm thinking about What's gonna be happening next week? Now, it's only a very light thought that I'm having. It's not a very, um, deep thought, I guess, but now we've gotta figure out what Jules and Evie are going to do when they're young adults. I mean, at this point, obviously, they're gonna be dropouts as well, you know? We haven't had any major game-changing moments at this time, but, I'm thinking about it, and I'm trying to figure out what would be most useful. I do think that in order to make the most of this, that maybe we should have one more part-time career, um, because A, they're super simple to get done for the most part, and they don't require extensive skills, to go do this and that. Because if we do wanna make sure that our Sims if we could have these 6 girls complete careers, that would be amazing, and I'm thinking we might be able to pull that off. We might, okay? I'm not entirely sure, but maybe if we get one of them to do another part-time career, it would give us just enough lenience to complete 4 full-time careers. Now, is that realistic? I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like we're juggling 4 okay. What's what's another 2 more, right? What's another 2 more? Whatever. Now, of course, I'm looking at them, and I do think that the fast food employee to give us those family recipes is, up there on my list, okay? Um, yeah, I do think that. So I'm thinking and it also it re like I said, these require such minimal skill sets and skill levels, and, they don't need computers to get work done. They don't need them for, daily tasks or whatever. Because I am thinking about that, guys. I'm totally thinking about that. Someone else had mentioned, have the girls do one of the military careers and um, see what can be done there. So if we get Jules to do fast food employee, right, that's gonna unlock the family recipes, the quick meals, okay? Um, that coupled with the chef career is really gonna unlock the most bang for our buck when it comes to the fridges, the stoves, the coolers, etcetera. It's also going to give us those family meals that have those extra, boosters onto them. They cost a fortune, guys. The family recipes cost an absolute fortune, but, um, they are worth it. They're worth every penny. So, now if Evie could do military officer is, no traveling to community lots, may not go to college even if education is unlocked. So you do have to unlock an education, um, career to unlock college as well. I can't remember if it's the same one as the teens going to high school, but anyway, we'll see. And obviously Sims may not move out. So we could do military officer with Evie, right? Like we could do that. There is also, patron of the arts, master of the real, but there are other things locking mood auras. So I feel like we would do all of that and then we wouldn't really be able to help ourselves. You know what I mean? Like it's not really going to help us because we can't use mood auras or anything like that. So I feel like it would be a bit of a waste. I'm hoping to do careers right now that give somewhat of an immediate help, you know? So military officer obviously would not be immediate help. However, by doing that, there is only, one more career, or maybe 2. Maybe yeah, because you need to do matchmaker before you do relationship consultant for that career. So, I guess there would be 2 there, but we would be one step closer to being able to move Sims out, um, and probably one more to be able to go to college. So, you know, um, I feel like that would be a bit more beneficial to us. But it's hard to say, I gotta think on it, to be honest. I gotta think on I've gotta think on what that extra slot is gonna do, and I hate tying everybody up in a career even though I know that's the whole point. I'm concerned that what if something happens to the first the first 4 kids or, what are we gonna do then? Right? Because we saw it with Pan, right? A looming layoff. We saw that. We lived that, okay? We watched as our hopes and dreams went down the toilet when he was a level 6, okay? And we haven't gotten them back since then, okay? No, but for real though, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe military officer. I'll have to double check, like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that the skills are basic for that as well. I don't think it's anything to do with the computer, which is awesome, right? Oh my goodness, Carmen, yes, girl. Yes, absolutely. You go, Glen Coco. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking of doing. So maybe we will do military officer. Honestly, I'm also debating pro athlete. Like if we're going there, we may as well just go all the way. So that would unlock like reward traits and gym equipment essentially. And those I feel are pretty big things. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how I feel when the time comes. Probably Probably Jules is going to do the fast food employee. I think that's our best bet for her. And yeah, for Evie, I don't know. We will see. We'll see how I'm feeling and figure it out from there. We're so limited on careers, honestly. We literally have, I don't even know if we have a dozen, okay? And that's including the ones that we are already working towards. But yeah, that's about it. That sums up our week here with them. And Pan, look at him go making all this food. Thank you so much for being useful in the afterlife. We appreciate that. Look at him. He's inspired. He's more inspired in death than he was in life. It's something to behold, honestly. Yeah. So that about sums up our week. So until next time, see ya.